Let's say you've bought some cryptocurrency. You've heard the stories of crypto exchanges getting hacked and people losing their money, so you decide to move it somewhere safer. You find what you need is a crypto wallet. So you go to Twitter. Hey, I need a crypto wallet. Which one is best to avoid getting hacked and losing my money? I've heard about MetaMask and Trust Wallet. Are there any others? Send. Fantastic. Look at all these replies coming in. But wait, these don't appear to be legitimate email addresses or links. What is going on here? Why is this happening? What more can we find out and discover? Let's take a deep dive into crypto phishing scams, which are currently spreading all over social networks using some very interesting TTPs as well. Let's take a look at some of the URLs which have been sent to me. These are all hosted on Google Forms, a legitimate and safe form website, but being used for a malicious purpose. It makes it very difficult for Google to detect and take down these forms. You can see they ask basic questions, and that at the end of the form, the main call to action for the threat actor, the request for your seed phrase and passphrase linked to your wallet. You could think of this phrase as a secondary backup password, not created by yourself, but can be used to log into your account if you forget your main password. This is the golden bullet for threat actors. This is what they are looking for. These simple words are the key piece of information they want to use to then allow them to log into your wallet and steal your crypto money. So now we know what these actors are after, and we can look at some of the lures and try and find overlaps in the TTPs. This reply, telling me I have won a prize, asked me to contact the actors via direct message. So I did. They then sent me a link to a website which looked like this. It's really interesting on this site that there are so many links to unique wallets. Ultimately, this is just one huge picture that's been inserted onto the website. Wherever you click will always lead to this import wallet page. This asks you for your phrase, a key store JSON, or your private key. Once you input data and select import, the website then tells you that you will be contacted by an admin, and interestingly displays a QR code. If you follow this QR code, it very randomly leads you to Barcode Australia. I can only assume that this has been added to the page to make it look more legitimate to victims. I have also been able to collect a number of phishing kits used to stand up these phishing sites. Let's do a breakdown of one of these kits and explore the code more deeply. So here we have got a phishing kit for a Trust Wallet phishing site. You can see at the top there that I have named the kit based upon where I discovered it, and that was from metaverifiedprotocol.com. So let's take a look at this kit. We've opened it up. We have a number of directories, admin, antibots, includes, logs, PHP, theme. We've then got a number of files below it. So let's start with the files and then we'll work our way through the directories. Starting with index.php. If we open this up, we get the index page of the website. We can see at the top we have a number of includes, which are PHP scripts located in the includes directory, which we'll take a look at. We have an antibots file coming from the admin config. We have a number of other includes such as antibot files and another admin config. We get a redirect down here that states if the server user agent is Google, then it gets a 404 response back, even though these are fake. As we can clearly see, there is a website behind this. Jumping back to the kit here, we have a GIF, we have an initialization file, we have a robots.txt file. We can quickly look at that and find there's nothing interesting in there. And we have unlock.php. So let's take a look at unlock.php. Again, we have a number of includes at the top. And then moving down into the HTML, we can see the title of this page is Best Cryptocurrency Wallet, Ethereum Wallet, Trust Wallet. So it's clearly targeting a number of wallet assets. We then seem to have a function in JavaScript called decode Morse that takes in a input of Morse code and what appears to be a dictionary of Morse code items into their corresponding letters. Upon seeing this, I'm now expecting that the main source code is going to be obfuscated in some way. So let's scroll down from this, and here we have a variable named decoded, and it's calling decode Morse with all of the Morse code elements in it. Now, we can either try and run this site or manually decode it, but there's a much quicker alternative, and I'm going to show you that now. What we're looking at here is the CyberChef created by UK security service GCHQ. This is a fantastic tool. If we search in here for Morse code, we can see we can encode to Morse code, or we can decode from Morse code. So let's put this in here, and now we can insert our code. In here, we've now got our Morse code, and we have an output below, which does look like text. We can start seeing that the document.element by ID word1 style border color. So what this is doing is actually building the website from this decoded Morse code. We can see we have some more elements down here. So we've got some CSS based items, border radiuses, margins, colors, elements. So this is essentially the whole website. What we move down to here is now what appears to be an input box. We have a number of words, word 1, word 2, word 3, word 4, all the way up to word 12. This is going to be that passphrase which the threat actors are looking for. We can see we had the button on click, check this form. So there's obviously going to be a JavaScript element function, a JavaScript function called check. And we've got a number of HTML items below it. So although this is a very interesting obfuscation technique, it's trivially simple to reverse, and the information which is contained within it is not of interest to us at the moment. So let's move back to our unlock.php. Scrolling through all of this data, we can get to some other HTML elements. Again, we interestingly recognize a lot of this stuff which is written. This is what we were seeing in that decoded data. Word 1, word 2, all the way down here to word 12, and then the form submit. You've then got the rest of the website padding code to make the website look legitimate. Notice all the links have been hashed out, meaning if a user were to click on any of these links, they're not going to be redirected anywhere. The threat actor wants to ensure that the user or the victim stays on their phishing website. They don't want them to redirect. This is sometimes a really good way to check if a website is legitimate, is by checking some of the footer links. As you can see down here, they do not link anywhere. So moving back into our phishing kit, let's take a look at some of the other files which we got. Let's start at the top here with our admin directory. Within here we have a config, and we have a antibots initialization file with a simple on-off switch. So there's not much interesting in there. Moving back to our antibots folder, we've now got some threat actor attribution. So we can see this is created by a threat actor called Mars. You've got some other fingerprints at the bottom and the top here. And we've got a very basic banned IP array list down here, featuring a huge number of IP addresses. Scrolling all the way to the bottom, we can see that it's nearly 2,000 IP addresses which are banned by this phishing kit. And we've also got some hostname blockers as well. Working our way through these antibots, we've got the same header on these files, and we have got some host names that are being blocked as well by the threat actor. Common, standard, expected host names. We've also got some IP addresses. Scrolling all the way to the bottom again, and you've got the same sort of output code, sort of 3,000 lines here of blocked items. As you probably noticed by now, these files are very repetitive. They contain a lot of the same information. Threat actors like to steal this data and build up. Now, we seem to have something really interesting hidden at the bottom of this antibots file. What stands out to me is this padded array. It doesn't match the rest of the file, which is a list of IP addresses. Moving down, we've got the same thing down here with an @ symbol, and we've also got a replace function, replacing the word bot with the word com. Now, I'm suspecting that this is a hidden email address. Let's try and work out what the form variable will eventually become. Now, how am I going to do that? So what I'm doing here is I'm changing the name of these variables to try and make them something more readable. Our human brains like words, so let's use words while we're doing this work. We can further reduce these lines by noting these items here are appending to an existing variable, so let's merge all these lines together. We can see this last line is a string replace function for word bot to the word com in variable 5. Here's our variable 5, here is word bot, let's change that to com, and we can remove this line here. Now we need to work through this methodically, decoding each of the letters to work out what they mean. So remember, arrays start from index position 0, so within variable 1 we got position 2, so it's 0, 1, 2. This is going to be the letter W. This is variable 1, index position 1, 0, 1. This is going to be an E. This is variable 1, index 0. This is going to be another W. And we can work through this for all of the letters and see what we get. There we have it, the decoded email address hidden within this file. So now looking at this file, we know that this form variable is an email address. Let's try and see where that pops up again within the phishing kit. So now we have this knowledge, we can move back into the phishing kit. Moving within the PHP directory, we can see we have a configure.php. These are very interesting as it shows us that we have a threat actor email address already populated. We also have a Telegram API key being used as the exfiltration to this kit. Looking at this status.php, we can see we have a number of items that get called. So these are functions for generating random string of variable lengths, or by default 10. We have the Telegram send function. We have a browser enrichment. Scrolling all the way through this file, we can see here our stolen words. This is all the threat actor cares about. We can see some enrichment occurring for the IP address, whether it's a VPN, whether it's a proxy, or whether the user's using Tor. And here we have the message block being built. So this is what the threat actor will receive. So you can see all the words broken down and a complete list of the words. We can then also see the victim information being enriched. You can see a threat actor signature at the bottom by unknown user. Now what is really interesting to me is we had this hidden threat actor's email address. There is history of this email address being used in other phishing kits. It isn't used in this kit anywhere. The variable form is not called. So it's a really interesting development where we have seen a threat actor has backdoored one of their original phishing kits. They've then released this online to try and steal other threat actors' credentials, but notably other threat actors have then stolen these anti-bot files but have not utilised the hidden variable name because they were unaware that this existed within their kit. This then creates code reuse, but what isn't occurring is these kits being backdoored. This backdoor was not intentionally added by the threat actor who built this kit. They've simply copied and pasted a known anti-bots file into their own phishing kit and have then not used this form variable name anywhere within the kit to steal data. This is either an oversight by the building threat actor or a deliberate move to block the backdoored access. Now I hope you've really enjoyed this video and you've learned something about the way that threat actors are deploying their kits through social media, as well as understanding how to look at phishing kits and finding those hidden items. Now please do remember to like and subscribe to this video, and I will be making more very soon.